intrigued to see if potentially 16-bit or Nexplay can get vengeance on them later on in the event, which I think is bound to happen eventually. But we'll be seeing it anyways. Let's go into game number 1 of the day. It is a BO5 in case you guys were wondering. BO5 game every single game today, so it's going to be some pretty long broadcasts. And of course, as Dave likes to get it, we're going to get some awesome content out there for you guys at home. And we'll see how things are going to be rolling out. I got these effects. We're going for it. This is high production back here.
Wow, that was something else. So here we go. We take a look at the plan. I think I kind of saw this. I can't remember this strategy from yesterday when they tried to group up as 4 or 5 in a particular area of the map to either go do some invade or just play defensively. So far we're not seeing any invade coming up from both sides, and this is what you usually would want to do if you don't really want to go for that risky plays. But yeah, what do you say about the matchup that we have so far in the bot side?
I mean, in the bot side, of course, you're going to be looking at a BRAWL and Jin. I'm not too much of a fan of that combo. The reason why, you are looking for the Frostbite, the passive also coming out from the BRAWL to hit that stun and extra burst damage. Jin, purely based on his natural slow attack speed pacing, makes it a little bit hard to actually hit that stun, so sometimes you might just be a little bit short, so I don't think it works that great, but the later game you hit, the better you're going to be. But we're going to be seeing now a little bit of a jungle invade here, Kasai, for the blue buff.
Yes, and that's quite an advantage as well with the clean, fast minion waves. For the meantime, you can see the pulverize connecting. I did see that this might connect just well onto the blue buff of the red side. In here, you can see a very low Olaf as well, sending back the jungler of Team 16-bit gear back to their Nexus, and that's something looking bad. Yes, no one died, but again, every second counts. So the moment that you have to go back to the base, you're going to be missing a thing or two in your own jungle camp, just like even this neutral objective, this Cutler in the middle lane, and it seems like 16-bit gear is going to be losing 2 on both sides.
And Joshi actually got himself the blue there, so he's got red and blue, so that's going to give him a little bit of a nice early game lead, so that's going to be great for him to try and get nicely and ahead. And he's going to get his own blue too, so he should be in a pretty good spot. But also, like, to continue talking about that bot lane, so I just talked about the Jin and the BRAWL, and also you got yourself your Alistar and your Miss Fortune combo here, which when you think about it, especially when they hit level 5, that's a really, really strong power. The reason why the bullet time coming out from the Miss Fortune combo is really good with the Alistar. He's able to enable movement from his enemies for 3 seconds, and that allows the entire run of the bullet time to hit, but that means he needs to initiate with that really early on, because BRAWL counters Miss Fortune with that shield again, soak up the entire damage coming out from that bullet time. So as long as BRAWL is part of the party, the ultimate of Miss Fortune is going to be almost basically useless.
See about that, though. Still not discounting what Team 16-bit gear can do, since we can see the total goal that both of the teams currently have right now. I think like we might be waiting in here for the first clash to be happening in the Dragon Pit. So everyone just taking their time. Let's just chill for the meantime. Anyway, this is going to be a best of 5 match, and we can see basically we're going to be able to test the flexibility of each of the players in making use of different champions. So I don't know, which champion are you excited to see that we're not seeing a lot in here at the Wild Rift Asia BRAWL? I'm just curious.
I mean, normally I would go as Alistar because I said it. I'm an Alistar mate, but like it is a pretty common character, so I don't think it would be fair for me to say Alistar just because I play Alistar. I think that would not be fair for them. But I think that especially here, I'm going to be happy to see Graves. Graves does get played a fair decent bit, but like there are a lot more popular junglers, like the likes of, for example, Shyvana and Olaf too, that get played quite a fair bit. So I think it's nice to see Graves getting picked up here, and I'm intrigued to see how he's going to try and play around it. Being a 3-man in the bush, in the bot lane, they're waiting. They're all level 5 or above. That means all the ultimates are currently available. Jesse's going to go for the push there, but unfortunately, they are just going to be peeling away from that fight back to the safety of their turret as the Drake is just about to pop up.
And on the top side as well, we just saw that Olaf tried to sneak in the bush on the edge of the top side, but kind of failed to do so. Kind of went to rotate on the tri-bush, but that did not happen as well. You can see the Nexplay also securing that first mountain Drake of the game without any contest coming out from 16-bit here as well. But we continue on the top side. Ryzen. He knows when to play safe.
he's going to be taking it really slow in the early stage. But I just really want to break down also that last play that just happened, how they took the Drake so easily without getting contested away by the enemy jungler that is the Olaf. Reason for that is Graves actually initially put some vision on the enemy Raptors, and that allowed him to actually know exactly when he was going to be on the red side of the jungle. And when that actually happened, they were like, okay, we can just go for a nice position bot lane. If we can get a gank, that is good, but that means if we wanted to take the Drake, we would have to take a 3v2 fight. We would have the advantage, or we win Drake, or we win a 3v2 fight. It was a win-win scenario, purely based off the information that was given in the top side. But though Jax get engaged upon by a 3-man crew, and he will flash through the wall to make it back to his turret. He will be safe. Oh, I'm talking too soon here. Oh no, he's getting dived exile.
Oh yes, indeed. He should have not come back from that one. I thought he'd already be safe under the turret in here up top, but then again he tried to just check the bush once more, getting punished for doing that. So, but for the meantime, we can see in here who's gonna get the first turret. It definitely is going to be Nexplay Esports. Seemingly, we can see the strategies, very familiar to what we see from yesterday. They will try to push up until the second turn of the game, but for the meantime, on the bottom, we can see a 3v2 ongoing. As of the moment, Jean having a hard time trying to deal or connect the damage against the target on the side of 16-bit here, and this is what you have mentioned a while ago. Slow, the DPS is not really present on the team. That's why, okay, maybe this is a different ADC that we have in the bot side, then maybe he's able to punish those who have been invading him. But not to worry though, because Nexplay Esports did manage to push 2 turrets up for the next objective.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, actually. Like, they were able to get 2 turrets only for losing the Aurelion Sol, and the Aurelion Sol sending an entire galaxy of CC potentially in, and unfortunately a little bit too slow, will not be able to connect on the Scorpion or the Alistar whatsoever. But like, this is still such a big win. The map control is present, but where we need to see a little bit more control and presence from both of these teams in the mid lane. Mid lane turret, especially the first turret, gives you so much good control, presence, and availability to actually just roam in the enemy jungle and not get punished too heavily if the fight goes sour. So I think that here I would like to see a little bit more commitment to that position. Picking up Herald right now with just 7 minutes in for the game, like you have that Herald to potentially commit the mid lane push would be a great way to do so, which is what I'm hoping to see at least. Now though, we'll have a little bit of recruitment. Unfortunately, Jack's not going to be part of that fight as the engage happens.
Yes, here we go with Hex's ultimatum connecting onto the members of 16-bit here, and they're committing all the way onto this team fight. Tom super low on HP, but flexing on the side is that misfortune. But for the meantime as well, you can see that win on the fight by Team and Nexplay. They're gonna go for the push in the middle lane, and at the same time, they're gonna be able to punish Misfortune, who flanked on this side. Yes, Jax maybe will be able to manage some minion waves up top, but I think what matters most are the minion waves, or rather the turrets missing here in the middle. My goodness, I mean, so I think that was like about 2 to 3 minutes when 16-bit here lost a total of 4 turrets.
I mean, I'm just so happy how Nexplay really played this. Like, they played that Herald push so damn well. They knew that, like, okay, now we've got good control in the side lanes. On the top lane is mid lane. We want to take more control in the mid line. But we're going to have a little bit of a 1v1 happening actually in that top lane position. And Camille is dominating that fight. So 1v1 is going to get closer. The CC's coming on through. Nice ultimate to dodge the CC. And Camille picks up the frag. And she runs away with an extra frag. That was so well played by the side of Harrison.
Yes, for sure. You can see the gold lead now getting even more obvious on the side of Team and Nexplay. On that side, we can see members coming up together to take this dragon, and for sure, 16-bit gear knows that this is something they can no longer contest. They are down by the numbers. They are they're getting engaged as well. Forced to flash is also TP on, as well as Tom. Just gonna go back. They know they can't do anything. Now, this is the moment in time where in Nexplay Esports we have to make sure that they keep the pressure on. Because for as long as they're able to pull back, you can see on the damage coming out from Justin. Many videos of the collateral damage failing to kill the Misfortune, but that was fine. I mean, Misfortune is super low. Needs to head back on the base, and again, this still the pressure is on. They're not even in the upside as well. As they continue doing so, they might. Okay, I thought they're gonna be using the inhibitor turret up top, but No, they just keep this pressure coming on because we can see the next objective coming up in just a matter of few seconds. 19 seconds in the clock. We'll see how this will go.
I mean, 60-bit, how can they come back from this? I mean, 60-bit, they're going to try and take that fight currently with the Camille in the mid lane, but she might be escaping here, but the dive happens once again.
Oh my goodness, they are trying to shut down the Camille, and they quite overextending this time. I can feel like 60-bit here is already going to get punished for doing that still because the backup is just way too fast coming up from the side of Nexplay. Nexplay, though, to be fair, they're getting a lot of side of team 60-bit here comes to tell us that maybe okay, the damage is already here because the death cap was also already available on the Oriana. Without any doubt, they started the Baron with the members of 16-bit here even present here on the side. So, for the meantime, we talk about this Jax doing as side lane work, as split push work on each side. So, a while ago, we've seen him trying to go for the split push work on the top side, now here in the bot side. But I think it's kind of failing. It's seemingly not really working out. And now he's going to get punished again for doing so. What is the disadvantage of this Jax doing this side lane work for the team?
I mean, we've been seeing this happen really heavily. The reason why it's not working so far is every single time that he's going to go for a split push. He did it early on the top side, and he just did it right now on the bottom side. Every single time he decided to go and commit to a split push, then you'd see next player just like, well, that's a really easy Drake, or that's a really easy Herald, or that's a really easy Baron. Every single time they were able to secure a global jungle objective, that is because the Jax was split pushing. And that is exactly how you punish the composition that's relying around split pushing. You just make objectives on the other side of the map and you just push it as a 5-man team because Jax can't outdo what 5-man team can do. I know they're going to have a bot lane fight happen currently, but Jax, once again, just getting absolutely bullied out of the lobby.
Oh my, we got a curtain call done by the Jin. Gonna be hitting just few, not gonna be hitting all, but just fine to shove members of 16-bit gear back to the base. We see a Hextech ultimatum up on top as well, but it is a 3v1 situation. Horizon will be making use of his GA. Will he be able to survive? One turret down again, inhibitor turret in the middle lane, and he... Oh! What? He did survive! What was that? Oh, thanks to the backup, of course, of Aurelius Soul. Oh, man, is this gonna be it anytime soon? No, they're gonna be resetting. At least they have taken down almost, well, 2 of the inhibitor turrets of 16-bit here.
Oh my god, BRAWL, the Glacial Fisher, that was so well played, and she barely survived on the slid of HP. That was the play of the game, ladies and gentlemen. So well executed all around. That's what you call some team trust, baby. Let's freaking get it. But BRAWL did go down eventually, so you know what? I play support too. I get it. Sometimes you gotta die to keep your allies alive. I get it. It feels bad, man, but at least you can feel proud of keeping that team alive because she has been popping off this game so far. Currently with a 2-0 to 3 KDA, so she is in a really good spot. Once again, another Drake. Reason why Jax is pushing in the top side. They're not present. They can't do anything. And this is just Nexplay abusing the strategy of the split push. And I saw it earlier, you know? We saw the draft. Then we saw them pick up the Jackson chat in Trovo, especially Trovo.live. Flash Assassin Dave, by the way. If you are not there, go check it out. They were like, well, of course, that's going to make it super easy for us, and they're going to pick it up every single time. And they knew that they were going to go for the split push. But great 3-man knockup from the Alistar.
Yes, for sure. Pulverized connecting just perfectly on the target of Nexplay Esports. But then again, this is something the Alistar cannot soak in. The damage is just way too much. TP is trying to get a kill. Yes, he will kill the BRAWL. But then again, the damage dealers, the carries are still all alive on the side of Nexplay. Now it is just an Oriana going to go for a Hail Mary defense. I'm not too sure if he'll be able to defend this one as he is actually forced to flash away back to the fountain. And is this going to be a tennis time soon? I think so, because the flow of minion waves are quite good in here, but no, they're going to be resetting, as I can see Jax, as well as the Misfortune, is about to go back alive. So they're going to be respecting that one up, but at least you can see the Nexus is already wide open.
I think this is actually a really, really good play from Nexplay to not go for the finish because they were taking a really big risk of potentially losing 2 players, and Baron is currently spawned. So if they allow that fight to go south and lose it, that would mean it will be a 3v5 for the next encounter. And that'll make things really hard when Baron is here, because Baron can indeed allow some comeback to happen from time to time. But though, Olaf a little bit too deep at the start of that fight.
Yes, I mean, he got face checked in here by the members of Nexplay Esports. Bullet Time's gonna be connecting onto some members of Team Nexplay, but look at the base! Look at the Nexus! Is this an Horizon play right now? The Camille would just wanna end the game, and this is gonna be super frustrating for Team 16-bit. My, oh my, why did you left the Camille alone?
Backdoor. If it was going to end one way, it was going to end just like that. It was like also the reason that she got the shield there. If she did not have the shield, that could have actually allowed the Camille to die, and that would have been a win from 16-bit, because Baron was still spawned. That was a huge risk to take for the side of Nexplay, but still Horizon able to snatch away the victory, barely but surely. 2-1 to 5. He's been popping off that game for sure in terms of map presence. And that's 1-0 so far in the favor of Nexplay. But guys, it's okay. We've got a lot more games to happen. It is a BO5 series. The Nexplay really showed that here, their macro, their shot calling is just so high up there. They are truly next level.
Way to start for Nexplay Esports. You can see a lot of damage coming out from the Aurelian Soul. So I mean, the stars is just way too much. You can see just, you just pop it off, and then it's AoE damage, man. You can just zone out the members of 16-bit tier. But looking at the graph, it started cool. In the first few seconds, it was on the side of 16-bit, but doesn't even matter anymore, because we saw the successful invade happen from the side of Nexplay Esports. That's why it's all blue, it's just trending up, and yeah, it's just perfectly well executed. I think what the yeah, gonna be very interesting to see how the Koki as well as the Lulu combo will do in the Dragon Lane.
I mean, Corki, when you think about it, Corki does have a gap closing ability, does have that dash. If he wants to go in like deep into the 2v2 matchup and then try and get the wild growth coming out from the Lulu, that could be the combo potentially I'm thinking of. But like doing all of that just for an extra knockup, knowing that also Corki is a pretty damn squishy character, maybe he plays around based around his mobility. I think that's a little bit interesting. But also, going to be seeing some really early vision clearing coming on through. Nexplay, they had good vision last game. I mentioned that earlier, so they're both going to clear it out early, because the vision game was so strong early game one, that they had to make sure that was just not going to happen twice in a row. So already really good response from 16-bit, just purely on the basis that they got the sweeper instead of just getting the nice walls up for the Vice. So I think that's really a pretty big win in my books. I'm intrigued to see now what they're going to do over the lack of information spread the way of Nexplay, as the top lane has already taken a little bit of a beating there, as Akali is just getting bullied under tower. I'm calling the police like that should not be.
Yeah, he's under turret, gonna be making use of the honey fruit as well. But you were talking about vision. Let's go back to that one. You can see that the members of Nexplay Esports from a while ago did actually start with the sweeping lens. And they actually managed to just remove all of the wards that was placed along the riverbed by 16-bit gear. And now Nexplay Esports has an information in here. Okay, Vi is now on the blue side. Let's go. I don't know if they're going to plan for an invade. You can see this is a very low Zed in the middle lane as well. And just like that, Sonic Wave will connect. And TPon actually missed that buff. Forced to back away. And yeah, fortunately enough, he has the ability to do so. And do you get what I mean? I mean, the vision is so important. Where's the jungler? Can we punish him? Make sure that you punish their mid laner as well, so that Fiora, you can also back me up, and that's what happened.
I just want to
first blood, Joe. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Actually, you killed it. There's picks up the Akali. I'm not too surprised. I wanted to mention this too. Why the hell is Fiora mid? Why is Fiora in the mid lane right now? Why is Akali in the top side playing against Darius in a 1v1? Like, Fiora would have a way easier potentially time to go up against Darius than Akali would, as she's unfortunately extremely squishy. So yeah, this is really interesting to me. Also, I don't think that inherently Fiora is extremely good into Zed itself, so I'm intrigued what the decision making is in that one. But I'm seeing in the bot lane, Lee Sin is going to be clearing up that camp. I thought Alistar might go for a dive eventually, but no. But like, what I would love to know, Kasai, what do you think of this Fiora mid position? This is an interesting decision to go with.
Yeah, actually. I think they're just trying to go for the risky strategy right now, which will later on be very much useful, especially when trying to build up that Corki. on the side of 16-bit gear. Definitely the Fiora can do something about it, as well as the Akali. So yeah, it's kind of questionable as of the moment, but maybe what Nexplay Esports has something in their mind is the one that will be useful in the long run. Sometime in the mid lane as well in the late game too. So yeah, I can see in the middle lane though, Zimich is also getting poked down so hard by the Z. Actually, both of them will have to teleport back to the Nexus to reset.
I mean, just even the simple fact that she went for Shield instead of an Ignite makes me also think that she was prepared to go in that matchup versus a Z, because Shield makes it a little bit easier to soak up the damage from the Z itself. So I think overall they definitely had this mindset, and this game out, planned out when they were in the draft phase. So I think that it's not just a last-second decision. They were definitely trying to play around these strengths. So I'm intrigued to see how Nexplay are going to make this potential challenge work for themselves. We're going to be checking down the bottom side of the map, so Corki, Lulu, not doing too much just yet. But the thing is also their poking potential is pretty big for the early game stage, but also now Alistar is ready to try and go for the engage. The headbutt knockup combo is going to be coming on through. Nice pulverize, going to get the engage, but
going to get stunned. That tongue and needs to back away a little bit. A really low support that will be missing out the chance to even contest this Drake. But Vi roaming around in here, I wonder if he's gonna go for a Hail Mary, right? Yeah, try to go. Oh, unfortunately, no, that wasn't really successful. So yeah. Anyway, regardless, you can still see that 16-bit gear is ahead in terms of gold. What actually happened in the map that allowed them to be ahead by some digits in here?
I mean, mainly is that first blood, right? The goal from the first blood they were able to get, that's mainly the only reason why they're heading gold currently. Otherwise, it's not all that significant. 1,000 gold in 4 to 5 minutes is not all that big. It's easily comebackable if they get just an extra few plates and turrets, or if they just get a nice little bit of an invade and pick up an extra few jungle camps. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that happen. But once again, the vision game was really strong from Nexplay, and now they're on the side of the map where they get direct access to the dragon pit. So now they don't really have to go around all these this terrain and make it unfortunate. But oh no, they're setting up a trap for TBR.
Yes, indeed. And here we go, 3-man gang onto that Vi. You're missing your jungler this time, and maybe there's a little bit of pressure that might be coming in here up against the Corki as well as the Lulu, because they are man down in here. But Joshi just chose to go back to the farm. Okay, get more gold and just be prepared on the next objective that is about to come up, which is the Rift Herald up top. 30 seconds from now, it's gonna go up anytime soon, and we can maybe tell that Joshua is gonna go for a reset right after this red buff.
Man, we just had so much happening in the past 30 to 45 seconds on the map. So of course we're going to see the Baron lane matchup that actually went down to the Drake lane. So that's Fiora and Darius that both switched down. Comparing to that, also the Drake lane went to the Baron lane position, mainly to try and get and win priority around the Herald that's about to pop onto the map. But also Akali is now going to go back in the mid lane position, so Fiora shall be taking that 1v1 versus Darius. Reason why, she's hit that level 5 power spike, she's got that heal on her ultimate, so now she is feeling a lot more confident to take that 1v1, and she almost barely won it earlier up against that Darius, so now she's definitely in a favourable matchup as long as she takes and wins it directly. But a fight's happening in the top
side. My goodness, here we go with Bullet Time also connecting onto the members of 16-bit gear. Really nice sandwich, and even a plan coming from the side of Nexplay Esports. I mean, they are really. I can say that 16-bit gear is mispositioned, but hold the thought in middle lane, we can see in here a chase onto Zimich, gonna get that honey fruit to hopefully save his life. Not gonna connect the ability, and then again, Zimich will go back home alive. So there was no early objective on the Rift Herald, but I think that was still a very successful gank coming in from the side of a Nexplay. Again, I wouldn't say that 16-bit gear is mispositioned. It's just that Nexplay Esports is advanced, and they're just capitalizing on the vision that they have been taking. If you are early on a particular objective, then you're fine. But hold the thought, because on the bot side part of the map, we have another fight happening. Zimich again will be safe, despite having the 2-man pressure coming in from the side of 60 man. Look at this one. Right after the Herald, they take down this outer turret in the middle lane, and that's very big.
Oh, it almost got the plate off there, but it was just like down to 80 HP before it was almost barely able to get the plate, but it was not able to hit it, unfortunately. But this is exactly the reason why they did the lane swap. Get priority on the Herald, try and crack it into the mid lane, and now they got also control, and they can get access to the enemy jungle if they decide to do so, while Jake is just about to pop up in just now 10 seconds, and you can see that they're already interested. Reason why, they have another lane swap. Yes, they're sending back again Yanistan and Miss Fortune down into the bottom side of the map to get priority onto this, but this time around you can currently see where the players of 16-bit are currently positioned. You know they're ready for the bottom side fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that bullet time once more. They're gonna be connecting so well onto the members of 16-bit gear, just enough to put a disaster back. But then again, a misfortune. I don't know what happened on that one. Did he get caught off guard? Did he get fooled by the Darius? So I did not particularly see that. But now we can see that the Fiora is doing Fiora things. Gonna go for the split push work. Okay, you punish our ADC down bot. Then no worries, we're just gonna take your turret. I mean, your turret's gonna go back. It's not gonna respawn, but our misfortune is gonna respawn. So we don't really care. But for the meantime, you can see a tussle still ongoing up top. You can see the Darius just regenerating a lot of HP as well. Backup incoming from the Corki. Will he be able to know Corki? I can manage this one. I can manage the Fiora. So despite that, I mean, we can see that yes, Nexplay is getting a lot of objectives, they're getting a lot of turrets, but something scary about this Darius whenever he joins a particular team fight or even a 1v1.
I mean, he was 2-0 before that fight against Fiora, and Fiora is normally a 1v1 duelist. Like, she can take 1v1 after 1v1, but because she was 0-0, like, she did not have the lead that Darius had at that time, and Darius is, even though he would have normally a little bit of a hard time purely because of the repos and because of the inherent mobility coming on through from the Fiora, he's just so far ahead that Fiora is just not able to deal with the damage coming on through, and the ult is just also too much to bear with. So overall, they are struggling, but now they went back to the strat, and Fiora going for the split lane position, which has been working tremendously well so far. But Baron is about to be on the menu in now 10 seconds, which I believe is going to be the focus of their team. But I really want to put a big point of interest in like shouting out one of the players of Nexplay, Juicy. This guy has been roaming absolutely insanely well. Like, his rotation is just top tier in every single sense of the term. As now they're going to go for another invade to just cancel out the Zed, and he's going to get caught out.
Yeah, he wasn't aware. Of course, he doesn't have any vision, and this is where 16-bit gear is failing. Look at the advanced wards coming from the side of Nexplay. It's just all in the jungle camp of 16-bit gear, and that's the reason mainly why they are able to set up the proper ganks that they want to do up against 16-bit gear. Now, what 16-bit gear is just doing, while they know that members of Nexplay Esports are missing potentially, I don't know, maybe they have an idea, okay, they might just gonna go for the Baron, so let's just focus on where they are not present, which is to take down the mid lane turret as well as one in the bot lane. Let's just go for that because we know that we cannot fight as of yet, and they are early in the position in the Baron pick.
I mean, once again, the vision, you just mentioned it, Kasai, like, rightly so. The reason why also Lee Sin does not get ganked in the top side by Jared's Z Wombo combo is because they have that vision once again. It looks like they activated hacks and it's just like, now we got God vision, we got God mode activate, and we know exactly where all the enemies are going to be, and if they move, we're going to know every single movement they are making around the map. So overall, this is just Nexplay, like, playing indeed to the next level, and I think that is exactly what they'll show once again, that they are the better team in this matchup. The 16-bit, I'm sure they still got a few tricks up their sleeve, but the Corki Lulu, we were questioning that pickup going into the draft phase, and unfortunately, it's just not been able to shine through just yet.
Yes, for sure, and yeah, it's kind of filling, and somehow I feel like, okay, is Lulu wasted on this one, being part of a bit of Corki? I don't want to say it that way, but it's more like them 16-bit gear really failing to get their early position in map. And again, division, we keep on repeating that one, but that's really a fact that look at this one. I mean, if you take a look at the mini map where the wards are actually positioned coming from the side of 16-bit, it's just in their very own jungle camp. If they're actually and in the early stages of the game, we did not even see at least one advanced ward to try to trace and track where the jungler is. But for the meantime, we talk about this fight happening down bot part map, forced to flash. Flash is a Joshi, regardless if he actually died, he has that GA available anyway. But let's see. The pressure is on seemingly coming from the side of Nexplay Esports. Maybe this Leeson will have to reset for the meantime until he is full on HP, or else they might get punished, or potentially 16-bit gear might be able to go for a combat play if they try to force and just choke out because of the lead that they got.
I mean, here also you see how the map play was coming on through. Nexplay were spread away from each other. They could not take that fight head on, especially the Lee Sin. And then you just saw 16-bit like, oh, we know that they're split, and they started pushing with the entirety of Nexplay like, okay, we know they're going to try and push us. We predict what's going to happen. We're reading into the future. We feel like in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and we're just going to be going straight back to base overall. Like, once again, they are able to guess exactly what's about to happen as the engage happen once again in the jungle.
Yes, they're going to go for this Alistar, and I think that was actually quite a bad engage to start with. He's quite beefy. He can just soak in all the damage that you want to pull off. Maybe Akali is a better target in this one, but maybe a Ryzen will be able to just flash and dash away. There goes the headbutt coming up from the Alistar as well. Going to be flashing away as well. And while the members of 16-bit here are just way too busy on going for that pressure in the middle lane up against Nexplay Esports, the Fiora is doing that split push work up top. Is this going to be another backdoor potentially? But for the meantime, they're still way too busy. The red team, Nexplay Esports, will still be able to go for that secure on this dragon. The Alistar is going to go down. 4-man member from the side of team 16-bit gear still all alive in here onto the side of the dragon pit. But yeah, we have the fight still not yet done. Double kill going on to this misfortune, and look at that. They got wiped out. 4-man wiped out in the Baron pit. They are so persistent about, okay, please, let's force this fight. And I think they're already choking by that point wherein they try to force, but they know they are at a disadvantage. And I think this is going to be it anytime soon, man.
And I fell asleep. That fight was way too long. They're going to go now straight for the Nexus, and they are going to be closing off that game 2-0. But it's not over, as it is indeed a BO5. But still, Nexplay, can anyone stop them? Apparently, seeing how things are going so far, that's going to be a big fat no for me. They are just dominating. The vision game, the rotations, the team fighting, capacities of the team are just so high up there. And 16-bit has yet.
Now, here at the Wild Rift Asia Brawl, of course, still by Trovo. Yeah, I'm so excited to see how this will go.
Yeah, I mean, Philippines versus Korea. We shall see who's going to be remaining on top of this one. Korea seems like it's on the brink of extinction when it comes down to this tournament, at least. And they might be kicked out, as they are the only representatives of Korea, so it would be really unfortunate to lose the only Korean boys. Sad, Dave, noises in the background. But anyways, regardless, this might be, ladies and gentlemen, our final game of the day. It is 2-0 advantage so far in this BO5 for the side of Nexplay. If they win this one, they are set and done. They make it to the finals of the loser bracket and have another shot at making it straight up in the finals of the entire event, which would be huge. It's going to be seen so far. Just a little bit of nice information gathering, just trying to get some nice deep vision once again. But deep vision not set up by Nexplay this time around. This has also been set up really nicely, so actually, by the side of 16-bit. They got the vision on the enemy Raptors.
Yes, and finally, this is what we have been looking for the past two rounds from the side of 16-bit gear. For the meantime, both of the teams actually left their ADC on the bot side, just allowing them get the whole farm for themselves, helping out while the supports are actually either helping out unleashing their junglers or just making sure that their mid laners will be well protected too. But yeah, we did see a while ago that both of the teams this time will try to find and target where their opponent's jungler have actually started, so they can measure, okay, will we be able to go or match up that. Sorry, a while ago I was talking about Olaf trying to match up the Lee Sin. I did not realize where we should have been talking about the Wukong. So regardless, I think it's the same thing though, that you've got to be careful about invading up against a Lee Sin. So yeah, going back to what was initially started by both of the teams, but I think we have to take a look at what's happening on the top side. Though 2v1 situation, Ryzen trying to manage this member. There's two members from the side of 16-bit gear. That Yasuo was super low though, but then again, what a good start for 16-bit gear so far. I'm sensing some it seems like 16-bit gear wants to make a comeback from this game. Like they're starting so good.
I mean, that was starting pretty good, but I want to say, Olaf, despite being like such an early game 1v2, he almost won the 1v2. That's how insanely good the character is. But all know that's going to be the Nami bubble hitting up, and that's going to be the frag onto the Jin.
Yes, for sure. Giving up a kill onto a Jin is something else. I mean, that's a good answer from the first blood that 16-bit gear took away from them. Now in here, we can see TP on trying to steal away their very own gap. But for the meantime, look at the massive CC coming in from the members of Nexplay Esports. They took away the buff, and at the same time, they took 2 more targets away from 16-bit gear. But not to mention, by the way, they just took away 2 scuttlers for themselves.
They're just not stopping. They're like, you know what? We're not messing around. Like game 1, game 2, we were having some fun around the board, but now we want to close this game off in style. That is what I call utter domination, ladies and gentlemen. The monkey also with the double ultimate proc, that was really well executed. 3-1 so far in favor of Nexplay Esports. And just how that early game was happening, I think they got this one in the bag. The mindset, the mentality is there, and the macro and the micro is there for sure. I'm intrigued to see. Also, one thing we didn't really touch upon too heavily is like positions of specific characters. And we have actually Gragas versus Orianna in this mid lane, which I was expecting Yasuo to be there. Which that makes me think that like Yasuo is not really winning matchup versus Olaf, because he can just cleanse all of the CC in the world with that Ragnarok ultimate. So I'm intrigued for the decision making here to have Yasuo actually switch with the Gragas. But I think also the reason why Gragas is in mid is not because of the respective matchups they have in lane. It's purely because Gragas brings just so much to the table early on compared to a Yasuo. They want him to be able to join jungle fights and invade a lot quicker. Reason why they decide to put him in the mid lane.
Yeah, most likely that's going to be it. And anyway, talking about the Yasuo, when you saw that Horizon on this Olaf is going to be popping up his ultimate, then you just back away and just waste it. You don't really necessarily will have to go for that fight when he goes for the ult. But for the meantime, a while ago we did see a replay wherein how so far Nexplay Esports started so well despite losing a first blood away from 16-bit gear. And I think what contributed a lot in that one was the faster minion waves and the fast response time. But for the meantime, we talk about the fight happening in here onto the Barret Pit. And yes, this is again the really nice setup coming from Nami. Yes, they lost the Wukong, but then again, this is still a free hitting Kaisa as well as the Orianna from the backline. I mean, Nami, I think really praise the Nami in this one, just perfectly making use of the bubble as well as the ultimate right on time. And it's just making it hard for the side of 16-bit gear in finding good position because they're just getting airborne and stuff. And
here we're going to have the replay coming on. There we go. The replay was coming on through actually just to talk about it. Like, look at the knockups coming out. It's actually a 5-man knockup because got pushed back into the Jin on the side. So reject humanity, go back to monkey. Hell yeah, baby. Like, that was just so well played overall. And on top of that, you think you're going to get knocked up once? No. You got a Nami ultimate on top of that to make matters even worse. And because of that win of the fight, they take the Drake right afterwards. Nexplay, what I love so much about this team is every single time they win a fight or win a trade, they're going to try and turn that trade into an objective, into a turret, into maybe also a Baron or a Herald or a Drake. But so far, oh no, Arsene's going to be taken in the 1v4.
Not going to be surviving that one, so I don't think so. No one is so strong up against 4 members. But we did see that already upcoming is a transition or the transfer of the dual lane onto the top side as they we see that the Rift Herald is also about to come up. But for the meantime, they have to manage the flow of the minion waves in the middle lane while Nami is trying to go for this. Oh, the battle will be connected once more onto the Jin. Really perfect time. Going to be commanding that Nami again. 2 different targets for both sides here. TP on will die onto the hands of the Wukong. And I think the one target, almost Janna was about to die, but then again was able to survive. But again, man, if you only will be able to highlight or go for a replay again as to how the Nami was able to set up or get just caught that Jean off guard, man, I mean, Nami is just such a disaster for 16-bit gear this time.
I mean, we also got to keep in mind that, like, Nami is not a popular pick, especially when it comes down to competitive, which I'm really surprised. Oh, he's the bullied. Leave him alone!
Oh my. mean, this is now a 0-4 June. What damage will we be able to do up against the Kaisa and the rest of the gang here on the side of Nexplay Esports? You've got a 0-4 KDA so far. I mean, the damage out, you only got one item so far, the Yumas, and that's just it. You got another sword, which is, you have to, it's just 4.9k onto this team as of the moment. But if you take a look at what the Kaisa has, she has 7k already, Wukong has 7k, Oriana has 6k. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of chase in terms of jungle and farm that you need to catch up onto in order to match up against Nexplay Esports in team fights.
Yeah. So to go back to what I was saying about earlier, before Olaf just got absolutely bullied off the surface of the earth once again. Nami, like really, when you combo that character with like an extra bunch of CC, like a Wukong, it just really shines through so heavily. And on top of that, you also got the Shockwave ultimate available for the Oriana. That we have yet to see like the full combo potential of this draft. So overall, I'm loving it. But here, the 1v3 fight is going to be happening. Oriana is going to run away for her life.
Yes, yeah, you mentioned it already. This got it the 100% of the Nexplay Esports. Oh, the ultimate was probably going to be connecting on to that Jin just to shove him away and them securing this mid lane outer turret. And this is looking good. I mean, they're not even scared. I mean, you know, when they position themselves, for some reason, they know if they're 100% sure if they're going to go for a goal or for a set.
There's a ward. They don't see it.
Oh, they don't know though. But they still kind of lost in this one. But Joshi, though, super low on HP, will be able to survive. You can see the Jana popping up his ultimate as of the moment. Olaf will go down to 2 members left on the side of Nexplay Esports. They need to back away. There's the flash coming in from the side of Yasuo. And Yasuo apparently was still not hold onto getting a kill. They lack some damage, but at least that's some light of hope for the side of 16-bit here. Sending the members of Nexplay Esports, getting them off guard onto that bush nearby the dragon. Yeah, we'll see about that. Maybe this is the time that Yasuo will have to join the team fight.
I mean, that was just, unfortunately, you see Nexplay being a little bit confident, but wait, actually getting for the Drake right away here? Like, I thought the Drake was going to go the way of 16-bit. I'm really surprised they were not able to cap that. Now they're actually giving the Drake away because they're just not present. They could not do anything, and that's going to be 2 Drakes now coming their way. It's going to be an Ocean Drake and a Mountain. Oh damn it, that's going to be for a second. I thought it was going to be stolen away, but no. We are going to be fine, and that's going to be taken once again by none other than Nexplay Esports, as the fight is potentially going to happen on the bottom side of the map once again.
Yeah, well, apparently 16-bit gear had a reset, decided for a reset instead of taking down. Again, yes, you are right. Maybe they could have go for that dragon. Maybe what they're thinking about, okay, the death timers are super low as of the moment. Let's just reset instead of getting punished back by a Nexplay Esports. So I think this time, instead of going for aggressive play, they just want to play defensively and go for more ganks rather than showing themselves up against Nexplay Esports, because that's where they usually are getting punished, especially if the Nami is there. They go for the bubble and find the proper setup that they can go for. So we'll see about that one. Who took away the blue buff? Not too sure if it was on the side of Nexplay Esports or it was the Oriana. So it's on the side of Nexplay Esports. So we'll see about this one. The advantage in the goal is still on the side of Nexplay. Gonna be risky if they try to even contest this Baron pit. But so far, but the status of the game, what do you say about this? About the current status of the game, Max?
I mean, 16-bit especially here, I think they've shown that they really got some good team fighting potential. But the thing is, they're not able to do so because the amount of sheer CC from Nami and also Wukong alone is just so threatening. They just fall apart really, really quickly. So I'm expecting to see, especially Jana, a little bit more weight. I've not seen Jana do what she was supposed to do, which is pop that ultimate, make sure Wukong can't get onto the back line. But unfortunately, Wukong, every does every single fight, he flashes through, and that's something that Jana unfortunately can't deal with whatsoever in any shape or form. So it's just really the play style of Nexplay is just so damn good, and the raw damage coming out from their side is just so much that 16-bit are falling behind to a point where now they're 6k almost behind, making it hard really for 16-bit to get back into it. Like, I don't think they can come back this.
Oh, did you see that happen? I mean, I think the Nami popped its ultimate. Where did they take a look at that? She made use of her ultimate, and at the same time, we saw that the Yasuo flashed away. But for the meantime, let's talk about what's happening onto the top side right now. Curtain call already being used by Jean. Everyone's just going all in. Ultimate cycle coming in from the Wukong as well. Everyone's just throwing all the abilities as of the moment. Joshi is super low with no GA. Yeah, there's GA are still available on his side. Flanking on the side though, Arise is gonna go all out this fight as well. Everyone's just trying to flash out, and there goes a killer instinct coming up from the Kaisa as well. And the members of Nexplay Esports are trying to obliterate the members of Team 16-bit here. Nami will fall down, so was the Lizzie as well. And I think might be a potential wipeout anytime soon on the side of Team 16-bit here, as Jin is just all alone with the 3 and 4 members on the side of Team Nexplay still all alive. And that was an ace. Now, time for Nexplay Esports to 100% go for secure on this Baron. What just happened in the team fight? It was kind of scattered, I think, but I think with the advantage of Nexplay, they got the edge and just basically beating them.
I mean, right off the bat, Nexplay were not ready for that fight. Like 100%. That Wukong was like in a really scary position. I was like, there's no way this is 16-bit that's going to win this. But purely because of how far ahead the side of Nexplay currently are, it just allowed them to make up for that little inherent mistake. But I think with seeing 16-bit was then relevant, staying consistent throughout this game compared to the side of Nexplay. I don't know how you feel about what I'm about to say, Kasaya, but I'm seeing them get really cocky and confident. Like, they're messing around. Like, they're going for, not as good rotation. They're just like, oh, we're just going to push our lanes. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun. It does not seem like their macro, their rotation, their team play is as serious as it was initially. But it seemed like they're like, this is actually just a nice little slap in the face that just got of that last fight. They're like, okay, this is not an easy win. We're going to try and recruit back as a team, take global objectives, which is what they're doing currently. I think they understood that it's not an easy win to go up against 16-bit, so they're going to be a little bit serious, hopefully, for the next few encounters.
Basically, it's time to wake up. We can't get cocky. We can't just get overconfident about what the lead we currently have as of the... Because, again, that was dangerous. We couldn't tell who's really going to win the fight, but, the upper advantage in terms of the goal, primarily Nexplay Esports has that. That's why they are just able to capitalize. At the same time, I mean, the Kaisa damage is already out there. The Kathian rays just getting thrown out in the faces of the members of 16-bit here. Fortunately, in this case, they got the Baron buff as of the moment. That ultimate from the Nami is going to be connecting onto 1 or 2 targets. Really nice. Really not a good moment to actually go onto a tower dive. They might be able to go for a push and enable turret in the mid as well as on the top side. And still, I think gotta respect right after. Respect 16-bit gear right after that.
I just love how Yasuo's trying to get involved with the turret, and Nami just bubble, get out of here. We don't want to see you anymore. And they get both Nexus turrets in both top and the mid lane position. The bot lane is yet to get taken down, but I think that how they're positioning themselves, that is going to be the next one on their mid. Great knockup though from Yasuo.
Yes, in this one, we see a lot of airborne targets on the side of Nexplay Esports, who has been popped up, not going to be targeting or killing a champion from the side of Nexplay Esports, but it's just enough to just lower down the HP. However, though, we can see just 2 to 3 members on the side of Nexplay Esports fighting it up.